Well, we are just about done here with week two as FlyQuest has just triumphed over TSM with coverage brought to you by Alienware. Talk a little bit about that match and the very interesting things that happened in it. Okay, for those that didn't catch the game, do you want to give us some of the high level highlights?
Early game we got counter gang top and we won that fight. Then bot lane 2v2 killed. So like we were basically winning everywhere on the map. Then we're just really bad at playing around objectives. So like T7 would just start an objective, we'd be late, we'd try to fight afterwards, and most of the time we'd win that fight. But like they'll always get the objective, and in the end it just comes down to Eugene, Po Boulder, just outsmiting Acadian.
Yeah.
And then that game was just in the bag, I guess.
On Zoe. Once again, Zoe coming through as an amazing champion in League of Legends. Now, so the topic or the conversation we were having right before this, which is it feels as though globally even League of Legends competitiveness is not in a great place right now. We're seeing a lot of weird games. Why do you think that is? Is it just the break or what's happening?
I think it's partially the break, and then a lot of things changed in the off season. Like now, people are putting high priority on dragons. Like people actually think they're good now. Turret plating, which I think how the game was played before is just like there's no turret plating, so turrets did like almost no damage. You just like push mid, dive bot, push mid, dive top, like that kind of thing. And now it's like you can't really do that. So the way you play the game is completely different. You have to play way more around objectives and like look for the right timings.
Well, FlyQuest, I think, is an interesting. I feel like the audience never knows what to expect from FlyQuest. Like, people usually underrate you guys. You end up doing a little bit better than expectations. Where do you think the team is this year?
I think right now we have a lot to work on. Still a new team. Like we got two new players, Viber and Pobuilder. I think right now if I'd rate our team, we'd probably be like top 4, maybe top 5, just because we have so much we need to learn and improve on, and there's definitely knowledge issues right now. Like for example, like Viber is like really new to the scene. He has a lot he has to catch up on. But I think he's doing a good job at like becoming better and better and better. So that's why I think later on this split it will be better than top 4.
Yeah, I mean, you must. That's what I was gonna say. You have high expectations because a lot of people are like, "Yeah, we got a lot to work on." Those teams are like, "We've won one game in the LCS so far." You know, it's like a lot of the teams are struggling, but you feel confident enough that you're already in that top half and you're moving up.
Yeah, I think the hardest teams are definitely TL and C9. I think right now we're for sure way worse than them. But I think that's like the people we want to compete against like in the end of the season. And we strive for first place, which I think is possible, but it's very hard against like TL and C9.
Yeah. One of the conversations that I've been having with some of the players, C9 and TL both seem to be under the impression that there are very few teams that do things in the LCS or on the map. I don't know if you've heard any of this, but the expectation is just like the teams are not as proactive as they should be. Kind of curious what you think of that.
I think it's kind of true. Like I think even for our own team, like I think we thrive more when all the teams make mistakes. It's kind of like the same for TSM, like when we're doing like our pre-game talks and stuff like that. It's like TSM likes to punish our mistakes, and we like to punish their mistakes. Like whoever really makes the play will probably get punished. Whereas like C9 and TL, they're very smart around objectives. They'll always like get the right flanks, the right fights, and I think right now they're just like on another level than everyone else.
Do you think it's just going to be a matter of the next team to figure that out and get the confidence underneath them to start trying to dictate the match? Is that they'll kind of join up with that TLC9 crew?
Kind of, but also think just like their rosters are really, really experienced. Like they're all world champions and all that kind of stuff. So I think right now they just have better basics, and like so they can quickly like become a stronger team. C9 also boot camped in Korea, so and did really well at Worlds. So I think they just like ahead of us right now, and I think all the teams will like start getting up to that level eventually.
Because I was going to say, you say C9 has a lot of really experienced players, but a lot of their players are relatively new, much younger or much new to League than you are.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think Worlds is a really good experience for a lot of players. I think when I was at Worlds, I completely botched it. Like, I didn't get anything out of Worlds because I was just not worthy of playing there. And I think that's why, for myself, it didn't feel like I improved in any aspects. Whereas I think a lot of the C9 players learned a lot at Worlds. And I think just, like, scrimming the best teams in the world is, like, it'll always make you a better player.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, playing really good teams are making you a better player. It's funny how that works. Going into now that we're almost done with the second week, are there any surprises? Like, are there any teams that are doing better than you expected, doing worse? Anything that it's kind of like, wow, I didn't expect this.
Honestly, seeing both Golden Guardians and 100 Thieves like 9th and 10th, I don't think anyone expected that. When we scrim like Golden Guardians, they're a really aggressive team. Almost no scaling, so like basically they just play full early game, and if they don't win, they just like lose eventually.
Yeah.
And I think they're really bad mid game. So I think the reason why they're looking really shaky right now is because they're all in the early game, but they don't know how to close out a game. And then 100 Thieves, I'm not sure. Like right now, it just looks like Bang and Someday like trying to 2v5 the game. And I mean, honestly, I thought 100 Thieves would be in like the top of the league, just because when I look at their roster, it's like really solid. They have a lot of experienced players. So I think those two are like definitely where I'm like 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense why you would be surprised. Is there anything going on behind the scenes? Like, I used to ask this question a lot. I kind of stopped, but I'm kind of curious because a lot of people don't know what it's like behind the scenes at FlyQuest, how the team is, like what the general team atmosphere is. What would you describe the team atmosphere and sort of the team culture as to those that don't know?
For FlyQuest, it's very friendly and easygoing. So if someone makes some mistakes, we're always backing him up. We always try to improve each other. So like we'll always like come in and criticize each other. And I think that's like where we have an edge, because I think nobody takes offense at what other people say to each other, and they know that if someone is criticizing you, first off, they're probably right, and secondly, they're only doing it to make you a better player. Whereas a lot of the team environments I've been in the past, it feels very offensive, very not trying to improve, just like really annoyed that you're that bad, the kind of thing. So I think that's where we're thriving right now.
That's good stuff. And what's it like working with Cop?
Cop is he's a nice guy. I think he understands the game really well, and I think he's really great as having like as an assistant coach, because he can help players like improve in certain aspects. So like right now he's working with Viper, how to like manage waves, how to like use proper flanks, all that kind of stuff, because Viper's really new to the scene, and he's a good player, but he lacks a lot of the experience that Cop is like trying to give him.
Is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, I just like to say that, I mean, first off, listening to CLG yesterday was a big eye-opener for us. We had a 5K goal lead and we basically did nothing. So we'll try to work on just being a more aggressive team and like making sure that we stomp teams like CLG.
There you go. That's it. We'll make sure we stomp those teams instead of losing them. I like that attitude. Thanks so much for the interview, Santorin. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hello. You just watched that interview, and you might be wondering, why is it that that interview did not look as good as it possibly could? You're thinking there, you're sitting there, you're looking at your old beat-up laptop, your monitor that's falling apart, the LCD screen's just like, it's hanging out. You're like, how can I keep watching this amazing content with such subpar hardware? Go check out the link in the description and get some Alienware stuff. They sponsor me. They sponsor the LCS. The pro players are gaming on it here. Everything will look better. These interviews will look better. And really, that's what it's about, right? It's like you could get the sick graphics that you want in your games, but really what you want is just a nice, polished, color-accurate, high-response way to watch these interviews at incredibly high refresh rates. That's actually what it's about. Go check out the link in the description, dell.com/Travis, and you can do that. Thanks so much for watching this interview.